Hello and welcome to Lula Conexiones, brought to you by Lula Council 7269. Today's lesson is number 6, Information Literacy. Objectives. Have you ever had to do a research project and there is so much information you don't know what is true or not, or you don't know where to start finding for that information? Through this lesson, you will learn when and how information is needed and how to go about finding it. Always remember safely. Learn about why people would put false, misleading information on the internet. Learn the criteria for seeing what is fake news and what is credible news. Be able to practice evaluating information and differentiate between credible and fake. In other words, make a choice and see which one works for you and which one is true to you when it comes to giving you the correct information, the real information. What is information literacy? Well, it is the process in which you are able to recognize when information is needed and know how to locate it, evaluate it, and use it. To be information literate, you know how to learn because you know how information is organized, where to find it, and how and when to use it. Benefits to you, the student. Number 1, conduct better research. Really go deep in looking for your research. Don't just take the first information you see on the screen or when you Google the first spot. Really research each and every, at least top 5. Improve information discovery skills, just like I just said. Really research more than one. Develop skills to evaluate information. Have choices. Don't just go with the first information you get. Learn about copyright and avoiding plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Well, copying what someone else wrote and then posting it like it's yours, meaning you're taking away someone's ideas or better yet, stealing them. And about copyright, when you're looking at doing memes and taking a picture off of the internet, you got to make sure that it is free. It is a free image with no copyright, because if you use that image on one of your platforms and it has your name attached to it, you're going to get sued. You're going to have to pay. Why would there be fake information on the internet? Well, there are many reasons why you will find false information on the internet. Hoaxes, meaning make-believe things, fake things. These are articles that are meant to fool or trick the reader into believing something that is not true but may be realistic. I utilize a certain website called verifythis.com in order to always get my news correct, because the news is always, or news outlets have real journalists and then they just have talk show hosts. Those talk show hosts tend to always um, kind of elaborate on information, and you're sometimes confused if this is real or not. So always verify anything that you want to know about that you hear in the news. Go to verify.com and verifythis.com. I always use them. Satire. These can be websites or articles that are meant to make fun of a subject with untrue statements. So if you're looking on the internet or you're looking on, let's say, your cable network news or a show or something, there's lots of crazy comedy shows that post things. There are blogs of people that are just way off uh, the reservation, and they just say a lot of things. They spew a lot of things to confuse the listener. Editorials. These are articles or blogs that are meant to persuade the readers to the author's opinion, which may have a bias or leave out facts. So when you're looking at editorials from a newspaper or a blog post or something like that, you want to always Not avoid not reading them, because reading is fundamental. It enriches your mind to think a little bit outside of the box, but you want to always fact check these posts, okay? Bias, showing a strong opinion or preference for or against something. So when you're biased on something, it's that you're only wanting to know about your opinion, your strong opinion. So always be biased on the good side and on, on the pro side and on the con side. So always really look into what you're going to be reading or informing on of what you've read. Activity. This is something for you to do on your own. Real news or fake news. It may be difficult to determine what websites on the internet are credible or not. With this next activity, you will break into your groups, either your friends or family members, and find two specific websites, one that you think is credible and one that you think is not. You will then discuss why you believe these two websites fit those categories. It's either true or it's either false. How will information literacy help you? Well, information literacy can help you, number one, if you feel overwhelmed when it comes to research projects, if you struggle with accurately citing your sources, if you have ever plagiarized intentionally or unintentionally, you want to look at that very carefully. You can always uh, give your input as to what you've read, but you don't use the author's actual statements or actual article, period. If you avoid using the library because you don't know where to start, go to your librarian and ask some information. Or, again, if you're going to go into the internet, use it wisely and use it efficiently. The internet can be an incredibly useful tool to have, but it also makes information literacy difficult. Why? There's an abundance of information on the internet, credible or not. That is one reason why they call it the information highway. There's highways that just go on and on and on. Information can be unorganized and hard to find. So typing in those keywords, perhaps in your search engine, will help you a little better. It can come from various sources that can conflict with each other. You'll always have someone saying something and then another saying the opposite of what you've just read. So you need to read everything in order for you to make the wise decision. But if you're still not sure, continue your search. Okay? It is increasing rapidly and consistently the change in information on the internet. So you need to be up to date with what you're reading, what you're hearing, etc. Remember, always look for information that is credible. And your group activity, which you can do amongst yourselves or do with your family members. Number one, in this next activity, you and your peers or family members will work with your instructor or your tutor or your program coordinator, myself, to analyze an article and determine whether it is credible or not using the information you have learned today. The article is on this link, which you can click on, and it'll take you to that article. Things to ask yourself as you read the article, and make some side notes. What website is it coming from? Is it a credible website? Is it a real, substantial website? What types of articles are usually posted? Are they editorial? Are they opinion-based? Are they peer-reviewed, etc., etc.? Is there any bias? Someone saying different. Is the corroboration from credible sources? Are you getting this article and the information from these credible sources? Are they good sources? Are they great? Are they real sources? Lots of questions you need to ask yourself. Remember, never take everything the first time you see it. Search it, question it. So remember, always have an opinion, whether it's a bias, pro or con. always look for not just the final on that particular information. If you doubt it, then that means that there is more information about that subject out there. So you want to have credible information so you can do great reports and things like that and research reports for your class. So see you next time. And remember, watch yourselves on the internet.